for talking. All right. Let's get started, everybody. Let me make sure the chats are up and running here. YouTube chat is a go. Let's see if that pops up on the screen to make sure I get it. Oh, there it is. Good stuff. All right, let's test out Twitch. Not that many people watch me on Twitch, but hey, that's okay. Is Twitch chat go? We'll find out here in a second. It is. Outstanding. All right, and I'm loading up the big chat so I can see it here on my side. Launch this guy. Ready and waiting for new messages. And there we go. Looks like everything's getting up. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Colin Richards art stream thing. I don't know what to call this sucker, but welcome. Glad you can make it. If you're out there lurking or whatever, that's totally cool. I am glad you made it. As people get in here to the various chats and stuff like that, we'll be chatting. Last week we did these, inked in these Roll20 monsters. Giant Spider, Unicorn, Vampire, and Wraith, and where'd he go? This Red Dragon here. All turned out pretty cool. So I'm going to continue with that. This week I got to get these done. So to that end, what I'm going to start with is just erasing the pencil lines on these things. And maybe doing a little touch-ups. Now, I have not touched these since the last time that we were here. So this will be, we're going to ink some more monsters. I believe I said I would start with the gelatinous cube, but we'll wait a couple minutes for people to start hopping in and all that kind of fun stuff. For now, we're just going to start erasing and get those done. Man, pardon me. I hope everybody who's out there in I don't know, chat land or watching land has been having a good week. I know I have. I'm feeling a ton better. That stuff my doctor gave me has been working gangbusters on my throat. So I've been moving and grooving. Ton of commissions, which I've been working on. I also have a bunch of family coming in for a little party, a little shindig I'm having tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. Saturday morning, a little holiday brunch. So I've been cleaning the house, steam cleaning the carpets, doing all that kind of fun stuff. So that's been super exciting, let me tell you. Yeah, real good. But it's good to get stuff like that done, I guess, you know. I did end up drawing a unicorn, another one. For, actually it is for my sister-in-law. She's going to be giving out a present to one of her nieces from the other side of, like, her family. So they're not related to me. It's not like my nieces or anything. But so that's cool. I was excited about that. So I double dipped on the unicorns, but I like unicorns, so it's good. Helps me with the horse anatomy. I think it turned out great. And that I'm going to be doing digitally into a poster. So, but the artwork for the unicorn turned out pretty damn cool. I was happy to do it. I actually like it a lot. Like I said, I dig unicorns. I want that on a t-shirt, folks. You know? Okay, so what is that? Oh, that's my thing. That's the eraser. Okay, cool. So we got the dust brush here. Let's just get that out of there. That gives us a better feel for these. I can erase some of the broader pencil lines. Now, as I talked about last week, these are going to be colored digitally. However, I needed to make sure that I got them. There's a little bit on this unicorn here. Inked and ready to go, like good enough with the black and white that if I just turn them black and white, which I plan to do, that they are set. You know, set and good and ready to rock and roll. So that's fun. So I might touch up this unicorn a little bit more with a little bit of ink work here, some shadows for where the hair goes. He's looking a little flat. Generally okay. Horses are tough to do because right in let me get the brush here a little easier. Right in like these areas here, there's various muscles and things like that, but you don't want to start slapping in lines there. It's going to look really weird. So you kind of got to be careful with that. I've learned a lot more about drawing unicorns this past week. Let's start working on the vampire. And I see a couple spots here on the vampire where I would like to do a few little, maybe not changes, but just some updates. He's got some lines there on his head. I'm going to erase them and see how that looks. But that, I initially put them there as, you know, he would have some lines on the forehead there. Let's see what that looks like without. I think it'll look okay, more or less. I'd like to just see it with my own two eyes. And then I'll do some things digitally, even for making these into black and white, such as filling in areas of the back of the cape there, making them pseudo black. I don't want to do that really with ink so much, as when I color these, if I want to make the cape a different color, like a red lining or whatever, I'm going to need that space to be pretty open and white. Yeah, I think I'm going to put in the little lines there on the face on him. So we'll work on that here once I get these done. And the Wraith. Same with the Wraith. Now he looks a lot like he's got a lot of negative space here with the interior of his, where his face is. And then the wispy cloak he's kind of wearing on top. Those are things that I would like to do digitally. And maybe if you guys are enjoying seeing these coming together, I don't know if you are or not, maybe I will set it up so I can show you my digital process for fixing these suckers up. Like how I go in, how I do a digital cleanup, all that kind of fun stuff. So once I get this erased, I can get in there, and we'll do, like I said, the shading on the unicorn's hair, and also this vampire too. It's got just a couple little lines I'd like to put in there. Now these, I think when I color them, the last series I colored were all done with digital color, and that takes a while, frankly. I'm not the greatest guy in the world with doing digital color, so that's just how I am. You know, it's just one of those things. I don't have like a Wacom tablet. I don't have like one of those digital pens or digital brushes or anything like that. I just use the mouse. And if you've ever tried to color something in using only the mouse, it can be a huge pain in the butt. It's definitely doable. I've done it. I've done it more times than I can count for prints of my art and stuff like that. However, it can be very time consuming, especially with these. There are a lot of drawings. There's each pack has, the last pack I did 26 characters. Why 26? I was going to do 25. My wife said do 26. I said okay. She thought that was a better number. But anywho, so for these, instead of digital, I think I'm going to go in and color them with the markers, but they need to get scanned in and all that kind of stuff first. Because once I start markering with them, there's no going back. There's no getting that color off of there. But I digress. That's in the future. This is a good time when you take off the pencil lines to kind of reassess your pen work, see where you need things, need touch-ups. I can tell you that looking at this dragon, I give him a little bit of like dings on his scales here. And just looking at them, there's no dings in this section, which is kind of weird. It just doesn't look quite right. So we'll add in just a couple of little, not scars, but this guy's been in some fights, you know. We'll just add them in here with the old Micron pen. That works a little better for me, I think. Just a wee bit. Alright, now let's deal with this vampire and this unicorn. The vampire is going to be really easy. Let me get out the old palette here. I've kind of got the chat window up off to the side, so I don't think anybody has chatted yet. Which is fine by me. I'm not really too worried or upset about it or anything like that. But I want to make sure. There we go. Good. Good, good, good. Alright, so I got my palette out. I have my water, my brush, and once again just a little bit of black ink. I don't know if you guys can see this. It'll probably look black, but that's kind of purple. I made a purplish ink. It was in here. There's a little bit left. That's kind of a purpley ink. I mixed that up to do that other unicorn picture I was telling you guys about. Which is fun. I like making different colors, but for these, black is just, that's what I want. There we go, just some lines on the old forehead for the old vampire. Just make him a little older looking, which I dig. There we go. I like that. It just does a little bit, eats up that negative space that is his forehead. Just a wee bit more. Now let's work with this unicorn, shall we? So I'm going to say my light's coming from directly above. Just add in some shadows that way, just to kind of make it a little bit more dynamic and dramatic, I guess. So if this is coming down, we're going to start here. Just like that. Hey Peggy, how you doing today? Glad to see you. I'm adding shadows to this unicorn. I did my erasing earlier, so I'm into that now. Yeah, this should hopefully just help to make it look a little more like the hair is waving or floating or appearing. Peggy, I am doing great. I feeling better. Got a lot of stuff done this week. It always feels good to be productive. So, man, I got no complaints. just been very busy, which isn't a bad thing, you know, not at all. But been busy, so it's been good. I generally like feeling productive and accomplished, so this was a good week for that. You getting, oh, hello, fellow monster. Thank you very much. I seem like a nice guy. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm a nice guy. I try. You know. But welcome to the stream. All right. That's making me feel just a wee bit better with that that unicorn there. Looks just a little bit more robust that way, I guess. I don't know if robust is the right word, but I'm going to use it. Yeah, unicorns are fun. I'm glad to have done a lot more with the horse anatomy, like I was saying earlier this week. We're going to add in some more, a little bit of wispy hair things right here. Hairlines, I guess. Just because those are in shadow over there. Thank you, Peggy. That exactly. Regal is the exact term. That's exactly what I was going for, so thank you. Well, I always feel that way, like when I read about unicorns in like fiction. I read a ton, guys, so I read a ton of fantasy books and stuff. I always imagine unicorns in that, pardon me, way. Like, they're very noble, maybe not haughty, but very, like, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for. Very, very just like, yes, I am the king of this land. That's kind of how I imagine them. And we'll just add a little bit of depth there to the mouth. Just a little bit of a wider. There we go. I like that. I'm digging the unicorn. And I think once he gets all cleaned up digitally, I think he's going to look pretty darn cool. Okay. Let me wipe off the brush here. Alright guys, so I'm good with this page for now. I might step away from it and look at it later. But we got more pages to go, so you guys who are in the chat, you guys can tell me what you want to see. I got a page here with goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, and orcs. We got a genie, a lizard man, a minotaur, and a hellhound. A living statue, a dryad, a gnoll, and a skeleton. And a gelatinous cube, a cyclops, a ghoul, and a troll. Now last week I think I promised Bear that I would do the gelatinous cube. So I'll definitely do that today at some point. But you guys who are in the chat now, if you want to see me start inking something, let me know. You guys can pick. So we got, and I usually start up here at the top corner, top left. So we got the goblin, the djinn, the living statue, and I can move around a bit. Hello, Light, how you doing today? You're wanting the cube too? We shall do that. I don't know if I want to do it right this second. As, like I said, I promised I would do it for Bear, who I don't think is here yet. But if you guys have a backup, I can move on to like the Cyclops, the Ghoul, the Troll. Okay, we got a second for the cube. All right, cool, cool. And the Cyclops, thank you. Living statue page from Peggy. Lizard Man from Light. All right, I tell you what, guys, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it straight up D&D style, as we do. Boom, dice bag. All right. So right leg, great. We're gonna do Cyclops, Living Statue, and Lizard Man. So 1 and 2, Cyclops. 3 and 4, Living Statue. 5 and 6 is the Lizard Man. Sound good to everybody? We're going to roll this beautiful bean footage. It's a 6. So 6 was Lizard Man. Sound good to everybody? I hope that was fair. All right. Lizard Man it is. Now, I wasn't sure. Some of them I gave weapons to. I wasn't sure about the Lizard Man. You know, having like a spear coming up or anything. I think that would kind of wreck it. You know, I just want him to look shifty there. Lightbringer says, woo, and there is some kind of screaming face. I'm using the Restream chat that makes it look really, really wacky. Oh no, it appears on the Twitch chat too. Cool. I like that screaming face. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, so let's get started with this Lizard Man. I've already got my ink out. Let me make sure I'm more or less centered here. And we can go from there. Pardon me. Yeah, we'll get these guys done. They take some time, so this might be next week. His name is Mouth Champ? Is that an emoticon of a mouth? I can't tell. It's something champ, and he is for when things go your way. Oh, Pog Champ. Cool. Okay, so it's weird. On Restream.io, the word Pog appears as a little emoticon of a human mouth, like a photograph of it. So, type in the word Pog again. I want to see if it comes up weird on my end compared to your end, because it looks fine if I'm looking at the little chat window that's in the upper right corner of the screen. It looks good. Yeah, but in the Restream chat that I kind of look at, because I see everybody typing from Twitch and YouTube, it's a tiny human mouth with a nose above it, kind of in like a looking symbol. That's really bizarre. That's really weird. I wish I could get a screenshot of that for you guys. Let's see here if I can do that. I don't know if I can or not. I'll need the sniping tool. Oh, where are we? New. Alright, I'm going to save this. I figured out how to do this in XSplit the other day, so let's see if I can do it here. So it's a source. It is a media file. It's on the desktop. I named it Weird Mouth. There we go. So that's what I see like when you type in the word Pog. That appears in my chat. So I don't know what the heck that is about, but I know Jazzy Jeff was having that problem before. And that's disappeared. Alright guys, sorry about that distraction there. That's just really weird. This whole internet thing is so new to me, and it's very it's a strange and wonderful place filled with wild things that amuse me often. Too often. And let's get this cute little lizard man nostrils put in. I wonder why the word pog turns into that. I know I should just let this go, you guys. I know I just need to like be like, eh, whatever, it's weird, and just be done with it. But I don't know why I'm like fixated on this now. It's so bizarre, you know. I think that's it. Franker Face Z emote. Really? Okay. That's weird. Thank you for explaining that mystery to me. That's so bizarre. I don't know. I don't know. But thank you. That explains the mystery there. I don't know why things like that, like... I'm sure so many people just take that in stride. They're like, oh yeah, okay. They see that come up. And they're like, oh yeah, that means pog. But it's just so weird to me. Like I said, it's like a foreign land to me, this internet. I've only been on it for, 20 plus years. Franker Face Z and Better Twitch TV are browser plugins that let people make their own emotes. Oh, cool. That's kind of interesting. I dig the idea of making your own emoticons. I should do that one day on the stream. Make emoticons. For all those emotions that it's hard to express, Like maybe you're hungry, but for a very specific sandwich. That's an emotion that people have, man. Without being Twitch part. Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you, Light. Mucho apreciado. I saw you were playing Roll for the Galaxy the other night. How did that go? I tuned in for like 5 minutes and had to run and do something. And you guys were like in the middle of a turn 8 or so, something like that. Like way down the line, so I couldn't watch. How'd it go? All right. Lizard Man is coming along here. Now, have you played that game in real life, and how does it compare? Like, when you're playing it on the tabletop simulator, do you like it better or worse than real life? About the same? Because I think there would be some board games that just don't translate well to the tabletop simulator. You know what though, Light? If you're playing that way. If you're having fun and enjoying it, then you are winner, Congratulations, you have completed a great game. But now that's cool. Building a galactic empire would be a blast. Okay. More scales get put in. I hear you on that, man. I hear you on that. Tabletop Simulator 2, I watched you do a bit of Cards Against Humanity there when you were doing that. And yeah, I agree. It looks cool. Like, it's great to be able to play the games even if it's not in person. So that's cool. That's very cool. Well, that's like why I'm doing these. This is for the Roll20 marketplace. Roll20's basically an online Dungeons and Dragons simulator. You can play online with your friends. Not really a simulator. It's more of like a virtual tabletop, I guess. But that's splitting hairs at that point. Like a slee stack. Thank you, Peggy. You know, when I was on a family trip with my kids, which I don't have, by the way, we fell into a ravine and spent decades living in a land of dinosaurs, slee stacks. You know. What were my kids' names? Will and Holly. Cool. Light, I can only imagine that's the truth. Well, that's like, I know Roll20 has like a built-in die roller that everybody can kind of see in the chat. Because otherwise you'd be like, roll, you know, the dragon breathes fire on you, roll a reflex save. And you're like, another natural 20. You guys just have to take my word for it. But there it is. It's amazing the world we live in. I mean, I know I've talked about this before, but it's amazing that these kind of things exist, like the tabletop simulators and Roll20 and just all of that. Like, that's so cool, man. Like, that's the kind of stuff that when we first got the internet, when we, young Colin, got the internet, like, that's what I wanted, to be able to do that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, find the people that are into that and play with them. It's so cool that we have that. I don't know. I'm just happy. Peggy, I hear you. Will Ferrell, terrible choice. Huh. Did it, when you were playing though, was anybody cheating, do you think? Or was it pretty fair? Yeah, that other eye there's a little wonky. Fix it in post. Only one person knew the game well enough to even be able to cheat properly. Was it you, Light? Were you cheating constantly? I hope so. That'd be hilarious. No, don't cheat. That's terrible. I'm just joking around. That must be a lot of fun, though, too. Well, like, it's one of those things where you could play a lot of games you otherwise wouldn't get to play that way. Alright, let's add in his little mouth corner circle thing that lizards have. I don't know why. Oh, right. Well, that's cool. As long as you had fun, I think that's probably the best thing. Even if you have bad habits from other games. But I think that comes with the territory. Like, as you're playing a ton of games, I think games might bleed together sometimes. Like Ticket to Ride strategies that work for one board and not the other. Stuff like that. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Tabletop Simulator, that's cool. Now, is Tabletop Simulator like a free product? Is that one... Because there was one that you had told me about like before that was... you like could download the simulator and then like you had to buy the games or something. I can't remember exactly how that one worked or what that was called. I did not have enough time to poke around with it. Hey, Jazzy Jeff, how you doing today, man? Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it in, man. I know you got in the store at 4. I always feel bad I never get to catch in the store at 4 because I generally stream at the same time. Okay, $20 for the simulator. Is the $20 the sale price you're telling me, or is that the actual, or is that the regular price? And then I should wait for a sale. Jeff, man, I'm glad you're doing good. I'm glad you're having some time to eat too. That's awesome. I hope you're getting something great like pizza to eat, which is my favorite food of all the foods. Cool. You know what? With the holidays coming up, I bet you things like that tend to go on sale. All right, so let's start in on this guy's this lizard man necklace here. And he's going to have like little trinkets tied around it, like little pieces of teeth and stuff, which I'm going to have to make with a thicker outline so they don't just blend in with the scales. Cheese pizza, yes. Pizza is by far mankind's greatest invention. Now, don't get me wrong, I like video games, I like board games, I like movies. But I think if our species is ever destroyed by some catastrophic meteor event, and in thousands of years aliens come and sift through the wreckage, not a human left alive, we will be known as the race that invented pizza. Mods of games you own, that's probably a good call. I'm going to give him like just some little like finger bones here on the necklace. Stuff like that. Stuff he might have picked up. Peggy's in for Supreme Pizza. I like everything except onions, which I hate with all of my heart. But if I could get like a pizza with like anchovies, black olives, peppers, red and green, mild, hot, like broccoli, everything I love on a pizza. But onions, tomatoes. Now, Lights, would you ever pick up a game on Tabletop Simulator, like the base game, not a mod, but the one that you don't own? Or is that what you're saying? Like you'll only pick it up at all if it's a game you own? All right, let's add in. He's got like a little unpolished gemstone here hanging. Maybe he found it in the swamp. Just something, little stone there. Once I color this up later, it'll be like a red or something like that. The free user-made version. Cool. You know me, I'd want to get like Talisman and play the crap out of that on Tabletop Simulator. Or Arkham. Okay, there we go for his little Nicholas. I like to think that this lizard man is somehow a cousin to Godzilla. Lights down with the meat pizza. Any one meat. So you're not going to eat like the one with ham, pepperoni, meatballs, and let's say I need a weird meat. Let's say pulled pork. So pick one of those. Not all three at the same time. I would totally play Arkham on Tabletop Simulator. No competing meats. Fair enough. You guys know me, I don't partake of the meats. But I can understand that. I eat fish. I'm not going to say I don't eat meat, but I'm not having the meataballs or anything like that on there. Hey, that would make a good pie right there, pizza pie. Like it's like 8 meats, 1 meat per slice. Yeah. I think you're onto something there with that. All right, Lizard Man is looking okay. I'm going to add just a little bit of, I'm going to rotate here and add just a little bit of some shenanigans to his frill here. You know, in the comic book world and professional illustration, these lines I'm adding in are, that's the official name, shenanigan lines. They're not, I'm just lying, but that's okay. I think I want to call them that from now on. Yeah, and I hope that with the Talisman mod you could modify it and, you know, play it the way you want it. Co-op or whatever. Because normal Talisman with everybody backstabbing each other, there's a time and a place for it. But you know me, I like my co-op games. Although I did pick up Munchkin Conan recently. So I now have a game in the Munchkin family. All right, I'm going to call that lizard man done-ish for now. And we will move on. Okay, guys, what do you want to see? What do you want to see next? I'll skip it around a bit. So throw out, what do you want to see? We've got a genie, a minotaur, a hellhound, a living statue, a dryad, a gnoll, a skeleton, a goblin, a hobgoblin, a bugbear, an orc, the gelatinous cube, which we're going to take off the table until a little later. We'll do it at like 4:30, we'll say. Bear's not here by then. Too bad. But Cyclops, a ghoul, and a troll. So you guys let me know what you want. We got Peggy with the dryad. Dryad right there. She's like, get out of my tree. You guys tell me if it's if we have a consensus or a quorum or the most votes. For one, we'll go with that. If not, we're rolling the dice. No problem, Jeff. No worries, man. Let me know what your vote is, what you want to see. I do feel bad, Jeff. I always watch them like the next day. I probably won't get to see this one until Monday that you're going to do. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. No problem, Jeff. No worries. That's good though. I'm glad that the Cartridges Galore is doing well. If you guys are getting phone calls all the time. All right, so we got a vote for a dryad. We got none from Lights, as his was already picked. All right, I'm gonna call it going once, going twice, nothing, and we're doing dryad. All right. No problem, Jeff. No problem, man. And I need to get caught up on your videos, too. I've been so flippin' busy. It's been hard to watch any videos or do anything, really, or make my own. But we'll get there, you know. All right, we got our ink here. And let's get into doing some dryadery. There we go. All right, so I am actually going to start with this dryad. I think I'm going to start with the eyes. I wanted to give her like kind of given the pseudo bedroom eyes there. And just with those lashes, it's always interesting that with D&D they would always have like these creatures in the monster manual statted out, ready for killing, that you generally shouldn't fight. You should be like talking with, or that are good creatures or whatever. So really, I knew I had to throw in something like that. So Dryad is what I picked. Let's go into the lips now. They always have things like sirens and mermaids, a sirens I get as they like lure sailors to their doom. Mermaids are now more or less merfolk. And they're, you know, if you're under the water, they're just like any kind of, you can have a roving band of merfolk thugs attack the party if they're underwater. And light, yep, there is always that one player. You come across a kindly old wizard who says, I offer you spells and gold. And one guy's like, rollin'-ish. This wizard's shifty. He's going down. We call those kind of players murder hobos. The type of players that have no real reason for adventuring in the game. They just travel from town to town, dungeon to dungeon, and murder everything there is. No home base. They carry everything. You know. Poles, 9 battle axes. But, you know, it's like anything. If you're having fun, you're not playing wrong. But I generally try to discourage murder hoboism in my games. It just seems like there's so much more cool stuff you could be doing than that. Alright, nose is a little pointier than I would have liked, but I'm okay with that, more or less. That's fine. It's fine. Being all my years of playing D&D, I mean, most of it's been as DM. I don't think I've ever killed a dryad as a player. I know I've seen them pop up in people's games. But it's never been on my mind like, I need to kill this dryad right now. Alright, let's add in the eyes. That's pretty good. We'll do pupils here in a bit. And I think I'm actually going to, let's try it with the brush. If I screw up, I can always just draw it again. Put in those lower lashes there. And we'll do the other eye too. It's got to be very teeny tiny little brush strokes. There we go. And one more. One to grow on. You know what? That wouldn't surprise me. Like the old school like Pool of Radiance game and stuff would have hostile everythings in them. Because it would just be an algorithm like roll for random monster, and it's like Dryad might be number like, you know, roll a percentile die, and it's like number 100. But inevitably the computer's like, oh, Dryad, there we go. Now I know in like Skyrim and stuff, there's like Spriggans and other nature spirits like that, but that's kind of different. Go. Jeff, thanks for stopping by, man. I super appreciate it. Good luck today on the stream. And as soon as I can watch some of the videos, man, you know I will, and be posting comments and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Have a good day. Have a good stream, my friend. Enjoy. That lights, yeah, that's pretty much when the dryads would attack. Get out of the forest. I really want to get back into doing some video games, but I really want to keep playing Planescape Torment because it's awesome. But just a matter of time. Alright, let's work with her circlet, I think I'm going to say, up here. Which I'm going to make out of branches. Or at least that's the intent. Kind of like interwoven. And it doesn't need to be super precise. Just enough to get the idea across. Grab a drink here real quick. Yeah, I've got all the old classic D&D games. I downloaded them during a sale on GOG a couple of years ago. So there's like Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 and Icewind Dale. All those sorts of ones. Planescape is in there. Pool of Radiance. Lightbringer, no. I mean, the laptop that I'm on right now is what my wife plays Stardew Valley on all of the time. But we only have one computer is the thing. And it's this one I'm streaming on right now. But it plays Stardew Valley like a freaking champ. Did a multiplayer for Stardew Valley come out? I'm curious about that because I knew they were working on that. Alright, let's give this little gem a little shenanigan lines up here. There we go. Just a little something, something. Yeah, the PC is dead and actually gone. We've recycled the tower. So it's only the one laptop, unfortunately. Which has been challenging at some times. Planning ahead. Nice. Give her those supermodel cheekbones. Stardew's great. If you guys out there in viewership land have not played Stardew Valley, it's a ton of fun. It is a farming... I don't know if simulator is the right word. It's not really a simulator. It's just a game where you own a farm and can do fun stuff on it. It's like all of the cool aspects of farming, like planting crops and selling them and talking to the townsfolk and hunting monsters with a sword, and none of the downside of actually getting your hands dirty. So, 'tis a good time. Alright, let's put in the other earring here. There we go. Pardon me. Yeah, and I love that Stardew as well. I love that it's was created and programmed and made by one dude. Like, respect, bro. That is awesome. That one guy can do that is it's just so cool, you know. Kind of reminds me of like back in the day. Oh, thank you. That happens. Thank you, light. There we go. Nope, nope. Come here. Yeah, that happens from time to time, and I don't see it. That should be a little better. Thank you for letting me know. Alright. And I don't know if I want her ear to be poking up or covered by the hair or what. So we'll leave that decision for a little bit later. What do you guys think? When I color this dryad, what kind of color hair should she have? I know green would be, I think, green would be a good choice, but I don't know if I want to just make her like classic, like blonde or dark hair or what. I haven't decided yet. Peggy says green. All right. Thank you, Peggy. Autumn maple leaf color. Purple hair. That's cool. Purple hair is a good idea. Purple is my favorite color. I'll have to play around with it. Like I said earlier, maybe I'll do a stream of the coloring process for these guys. I think I'm going to try to do them in marker, but the last ones I did were digital. Digital's nice because you can, just select the hair layer, and then it's like, boom, you could change it to whatever color you want it. Give her some hair there. There we go. So do you guys think her little ear here should be popping outside of her hairline? Like the hair should be tucked behind her ear before it cascades down? So you can see that it's pointed or covering the ear. Because I kind of like her having the pointed ear there. Because then if somebody on Roll20 buys this, they might even want to use this as like an elf maiden or something. You guys let me know while I work on the other side of the hair. So I'm going to turn this Yoinksburg. Show the ear. Sounds good to me. And let's see here. Do this flower here. And the hair color will also determine what color the flowers are. Because if she has dark hair of some kind, like black or brown or, something like that, then the flowers are probably going to be white or yellow or something bright. If she has light hair, like a light red or even a light purple, then the flowers will be maybe not darker per se, but a color that contrasts. If she has purple hair, yellow flowers are a good bet. If she has red hair, green flowers could look good, blue flowers could look good. Just something different. All right, so we got show in the ear. Let's show that beautiful ear. Make it even a little bit longer than the pencil drawing to really just stand out. All right, so let's get her ear folds in. There we go. Whatever the ear folds are called, I bet you there's some medical term for it that I don't know. The oral convex mastus and longitis or something. I don't know what the folds of the ear are called. I should look that up one of these days. So if I ever get ear damage and I go to the doctor and he's like, your vastus oral matrix is messed up, I'll be like, oh yeah, the large fold on my ear. And he'll lose his mind. He'll go, what the what? Oh. Losing my mind, folks. Losing my mind. Alright, here. Let's get this hair thrown in, and then we'll move down to her little necklace area. Down there. And let's get a little shenanigan lines in here. Just a light touch. That's all you need. There we go. Just so we can tell that's behind there. Let's get her little, like I said, we'll move on to the necklace area. Just made of wood here or something. There we go. And we'll do the other side. Real quick here. There we go. Good, good. Good, good, good. I'm happy with that. All right, thanks. Thanks, Light. We'll see you when you get back. There we go. Do the other shoulder, and then we can work on this hair too then. Get these kind of flowers put in. I'm going to leave the flowers relatively plain. I think they'll look better colored. Once they're colored up, I think they're going to be jumping out at you. But for now, I think they're good, just kind of left almost line drawing-y. I dig it like a garden, folks. Alright, give it little hairlines here. And I want to give her that wild, untamed look. There we go. Make that silhouette a little brighter. Pardon me. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That's good for me. My brush is getting a little dry here. Happens from time to time. I want to make sure that my brush has enough ink on it that it's going to be coming off nice without leaving those like streaky areas, which I don't like as much. Just like that at the bottom here. After you ink for a while, that tends to happen. I don't know why. I think it's just as ink stays on the brush, it gets dried on there. It happens. But that's okay. Just like anything with art, you just got to keep on moving on. Keep on keeping on. There we go. Let's get some right here. And in the back too. And I can hear my guinea pigs fighting downstairs. That's good news. Hello, Light. You have returned with a Super Meat Boy emoticon. Thank you. He's super meaty. What type of meat is Super Meat Boy? Beef? But maybe not. Maybe something else entirely. Maybe a kind of pork-chicken hybrid. Pickin'. I don't know. Oh, my mind, it has gone. The way of the dodo. Okay. Yeah, he looks like he's beef. He's that color. And now the question, do I give her the necklines? Because the neck is a big empty space there. Maybe I'll just do the one. And now I gotta do the other. That's fine. Same with the clavicle bones here. Just enough to know they're there. Looks better than empty space. Okay. Alright guys, Dryad is done. Ish. There's a little bit here I see I want to do. As I say, he's done. He's not done. There we go. Good. Good enough. Thank you, Peggy. Yeah, I think so too. I think she's going to look good all colored up. I'm going to leave no pupils in there. That way if I want to make her eyes kind of alien looking, like they have no pupil, they're just completely green or something, we could do that. What's next, folks? What do you want to see? We've got Living Statue, Gnoll, Skeleton, Genie, Minotaur, Hellhound. The gelatinous cube page, which we'll put that back on the table. That's fine. Cyclops, Ghoul, Troll, Goblin, Hobgoblin, Bugbear, and Orc. You guys, let me know, and I'll do it. I'm up for anything. Skeleton from Peggy. All right. Pardon me. Skeleton works for me. Let me pull it up here. All right, Skeleton. Going once. Going twice. All right, Skeleton it is. Let's do this thing. We're going to give him a rusty, like, cutlass or something here. Which is nice, because then you don't have to work too well with making your lines precise. It can look beat up. Which it should. Go. Skeletons, it's so interesting that there's so many skeletons out there. Like, name a fantasy game that doesn't have you fight skeletons at some point. Every Final Fantasy game, you fight skeletons at some point. Even in Dragon Warrior, you fight skeletons. Mario has skeletons. Pretty much everything. Everybody loves skeletons. Spooky, scary skeletons are what I'm into. And I know the skull doesn't have like these lines here, but I don't really care. I'm not going for accurate anatomy with the skeleton as much as just making him look cool. Do want to get that zygomatic process in there, though. I'm sacrificing reality for coolness. Which I find you have to do a lot in life. It's life lessons, kids. Pardon. And he's going to have a lot of like little errant lines and stuff like that on him. Like he's been in a ton of battles and just got the heck beat out of him. Some necromancer or necrodancer, I don't know, keeps bringing him back to life. Maybe not life, but it keeps animating him. Now that I talked about Mario skeletons, I have the Super Mario World, the castle theme stuck in my head. Dun 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 dun. And we're going to give him some cracks. Broken bones. All that kind of good stuff. Okay, there we go. Bit of shadowing there. Pardon me. And then we're going to have to determine, should he have, like, eyes? Maybe not eyeballs, but some kind of, like, should I just be black pits, or should there be, like, energy coursing through? And he's going to have a missing tooth. Because, again, all the battles he's been in. Green fires. Sold. I'm sold on that. That sounds great. Unhinged jaw here, like a snake. Red lights in the eyes. Ooh, we got a duel here, red or green. Either way, he's going to be Christmas themed, so that's good. That is a good question. Yeah, red gives him kind of an evil look. Green, like a more like mystical, like, whoa, this is some crazy magic that's brought this guy back to life. I think green shows that, while red's more like, wow, this is demonic and evil. I don't know which. Actually, they're both really good. Both of those colors are great. I might have to do them. I might have to do them both ways. I don't know. Okay. Jaw is on. Make a couple little like connecting lines. Like either through cobwebs or dust or something. Somehow his jaw is still kind of connected. By strands of something. I don't know, we'll see. There we go. Now we can work on the rest of the head here. Put a ton of like cracks and stuff in him. In his skull. That's all he's got. Yeah, speaking of D&D and skeletons and Planescape Torment, one of your companions is a talking, sarcastic, floating skull named Mort. And it's great because the weapon that you can equip him with is various teeth. Yeah, you like get dentures and shove them in Mort's mouth, and he flies up and bites dudes with them. Like, you can get, like, silver fangs and you jam in his mouth and he's a floating skull that bites. Matt Wiley 06, how you doing? Glad you can make it. Welcome to the stream. Hail and well met, traveler. We are inking in some D&D type creatures here today. And right now, it's a skeleton. And I'm giving him a big, huge hole right here in his head. And again, some of these lines that aren't present on a real, actual human skull, but just look kind of awesome. Like those eyebrow lines. That's not a thing a real skull has. Skulls are made of a hard bone. They can't show emotion by furling their brows. But that's okay. Because it looks cool. Alright, let me get a little bit of this going up here in this hole. And if the light's illuminating from inside his eyes, it's probably going to be shining through these cracks as well. Like up in this big hole in his head and the cracks over here. Somewhat. But I can cross that bridge when I start to ink, or when I start to color. But for now, just add these lines in here for the back of the head. That sounds good. A couple more over here. There we go. There we go. All right, let's move down here to the base of the neck and the vertebrae. It's good to be getting these done. Looking forward to having them put up on the Roll20 marketplace. Would be nice. And I think they'll look cool as heck when they're all finished up too. Okay. There we go. And then the spine continues down, even though the ribs sprout from it. Spine will continue all the way down through the rib cage, but I'm going to add in a little bit of shadowy lines here. My pen is, or my brush is, getting dry. So let me wipe it off here in 1 second. There we go. Good deal. And grab this. All right, let's check. Cool, cool. I like kind of seeing it on my screen. It's nice to kind of look at it from a distance, as it were, which is sometimes pretty nice. Okay, so let's add in. He looks like I drew him with kind of this like leathery armor. It's old and, you know, big collar. You can kind of see down through it. And then we'll have a thinner line here at the front. There we go. Then we can start adding in ribs and bones in the back there. I don't feel the need to be too crazy precise with it or anything like that. Just enough so you know there are bones in there. And then, of course, with this, I'm going to do the, what do you call them, shenanigan lines. Unless you guys come up with a better name than Shenanigan Lines, I'm going to keep using it. You be the judge. I know cross-hatching is what it probably is for real. I just like the term Shenanigan Lines. I don't know why. There we go. All right, cool. I'm happy with that. That's good enough for me for now. We can kind of do a little bit with this armor here. It's pretty broad neck area. Whatever kind of armor this is, it's got a very, very broad neck. I like the idea that it would be like kind of studded. Yeah, no. I don't want to make this skeleton the skeleton of some, like, lord. Just some random schmuck who got killed, you know. So he was never wearing the best armor to begin with. Let's give a little play here to these guys. Some cracks here and there. Just some scuff marks and stuff. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? He does kind of look like he's wearing a shield. Like, maybe that's how he died, Peggy. Somebody had, like, a wooden shield and, like, bashed it over this guy's head, and his head popped through the middle. And thus, this skeleton, whose name is forever lost to history, died. Maybe his name was like Chuck the soldier. Some scuff marks. Oh yeah? Star Wars? Is that does that come out today or something? Well, that's cool, man. Let me know how it is. I'm sure the answer will just simply be good. I'm pretty sure everybody that already likes Star Wars is going to like Episode 8. That's not a complaint or a negative. I'm just saying. I think when they're making those movies, they know what they're doing, you know? Okay, so now we can go into the weird eyes. First, I'm going to do just a little bit of light coming out of here. So I already have in where the middle of the eye is, so we can do like... Spoiler alert, Kevin. When I watched the trailer for Star Wars, it looks like Luke is homeless. I mean, I don't know, but an unshaven guy that lives in his bathrobe and doesn't like go to work every day, that I think Luke might be a little homeless. But I don't know. I agree, though. It'll be interesting to see what they come up with. I hope it's something cool. I know he got burnt when he trained up Han and Leia's kid Darth Twerp. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I hear you, Kevin. They're in every fantasy setting. Every fantasy game. Every game of like Final Fantasy, D&D, they're everywhere. All right, let's do the other eyes. Or the other eye. He's only got one other. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I did not know that Star Wars came out today. That's cool, man. I hope you have a good time. I've been wanting to watch that. I love Berserk. I've got a good chunk of the manga, I guess, and it's awesome. But I've been wanting to check that out. The redone series. Does it take it past the Golden Age story arc, the one the anime covers? You know, the backstory. Does it go past that, Kevin? Peggy, Berserk is a manga and an anime. It's a super gritty, super violent fantasy type series about Guts, the swordsman, and his essentially his journey. It's very good. It's very, very violent, but I love it. Guts and Griffith. Griffith, the Millennium Falcon. Well, that's good, because the anime ends at the single most depressing point in the entire series. All right. I'm going to call that Skelly done, at least for now. I might come back. All right, guys. We have time for one last dude. Your options are Living Statue, Gnoll, Genie, Minotaur, Hellhound, the Gelatinous Cube, the Cyclops, the Ghoul, the Troll, the Goblin, the Hobgoblin, the Bugbear, and the Orc. You guys tell me what you want to see. If there is a tie, I shall roll some dice. So throw it out there. And I shall do thy bidding. We got one for Cyclops. We got one for the Cube. I'm going to load up some more ink. There we go. More ink on the plate. Troll or cube. Okay. We'll give you guys a couple more seconds here. Pardon me. Let me close down this window. Let me check the stream here. We're looking good. The chat is still up. Which is great. All right, so we got one for Cyclops, one for Cube, one for Troll or Cube. So I'm going to say that's one for the Cube and one for the Troll. So that's two for the Cube. Shall we just do the Cube, you guys? I mean, are we cubing this thing? The gelatinous cube? I think we are. It doesn't look like there's any more votes, so I guess cube it is. I think. I don't know. Unless you guys want me to roll the dice. If you guys like random choice, we've got a random choice generator right there. I'll give you guys a couple more seconds to think about it, and while I grab this from over here. Okay. Gleam that cube. Looks like, yeah, I think we're going to do some cube. We're going to go cube all the way, guys. Gelatinous cubes. I wonder what goes through a gelatinous cube's mind as he does his thing all day. You know, like, I wonder what a gelatinous cube really thinks about. I wonder if a gelatinous cube... I wonder if it knows it's made of horse hooves. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, I'm glad I'm not a gelatinous cube. Although in 5th edition, the gelatinous cubes now can have, like, appendages that flail out of them. Like pseudopods, they call it. They can slap people, which is really weird. Because it used to be that the gelatinous cube would just, you know, roll over you. And that was fine. It just don't, like, you know, this big thing is coming down a hallway. You got to avoid it kind of a deal. Now it has, like, flipping things that slap you. Hi, CK85. How you doing today? A tribute to George Romero or Wes Craven. Yeah, that sounds good. Not today, as I got to finish these up, but at some point in the future, I probably will. It's one of those things where there's so many things on the list to draw that needs to get got to. It's just hard to fit them all in. But yeah, those would be good. And don't forget, too, we lost Tobe or Tobe Hooper. I always called him Tobe. But I think it's actually Tobe Hooper. But thank you for joining the stream, and thank you for asking the question. Alright, looks like he is coming along with his, like, oozy, slimy bits up at the top. And I like the idea of having all this, like, crap that, you know, he hasn't digested yet floating inside the gelatinous cube's body. Bones and weapons and things of that nature. It's hard to make it look like it's suspended in, like, liquid, you know. So we'll have these kind of drips on the outside of him. The eye of the beholder. Peggy, that's a good idea. I do like beholders. They're such a weird creature. All those drawings of Cthulhu I have done would prepare me for drawing all the beholder's eye stalks. So that's a plus. Okay, maybe just a couple more down here. And I imagine too when I'm doing polishing this one up, it's gonna have it's gonna be like expanding past the borders of the frame, I guess. But all right, so enough of that. Let's add in some bones and stuff inside this guy. This one here, of course, is a somebody's thigh bone. Stick it in there. And this part of the thigh bone right there, the top area, not the knob that goes in your hip, but that top area, that's called the Great Trochanter. I don't know why I know that, but I know that. That's a thing that I know and can't unknow, apparently. As I was telling my wife the other day, we were at Kung Fu, and I had, like, forgotten some stuff of a form, and I was like, man, you know, why can't I remember this? It's hard to remember. And I'm like, I wish I could go into my own brain and, like, delete random names of, I don't know, like Star Wars characters that I'll never need to know the names. I wish I could go in there and delete those names out of my head and, like, replace it with actual useful knowledge that I need. I wish I could remove the fact that I know what the Great Trochanter is, because when the hell am I ever going to use that? Maybe put some useful knowledge in there, I don't know. Oh, and look, now that I'm realizing it, this looks like the shield that skeleton got bashed over his head. With the circles around, the little dots. That's what the shield looks like. See, there's that shield, and then there's that. It looks like he got that bashed over his freaking head, the poor guy. I'm not making these bones or anything too connected. I want them to look like they're kind of floating in there. Let's give this dude skull. Oh, and I just drew on myself. Okay. There we go. Pardon me. There we go. And do the jawbone down here floating. I'm going to actually change up how that looks so you can kind of tell it's a jawbone a little more. Go. Now the last thing is I want to do, because that's looks like the front pretty good. I want to do kind of the back. So to do that, we're just going to do just a little bit here. Just to show that it's a 3D object. Hopefully the effect works. But like anything, you never know till you try. Hopefully this will make it look more cube-like. Oh, there's a bone here I missed. He just had an adventurer for lunch. Maybe a halfling. I don't know. There we go. That looks good enough for me for now. I think this one will look really good once it's all colored up. But there we go. Cubular! Thank you, Lights. That's totally cubular, dude. Alright, so I don't have time to start a new one. I can erase some of the pencil lines from some of the ones we did previously so you guys can see what we've done. We did the Lizard Man here. And we'll start getting him erased. He should be dry enough by now. My eraser broke, so I just have this little chunk. I don't want to waste it. So use as much of it as I can. Oh, yep, that's about it. Yeah, I've got to cut the stream at 5 here. I've got the CAN membership meeting tonight for our members, so... And there will be a speaker. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, I got to jet for that here. Eat real quick and run. But I'm glad you all could join me today. Get some of these D&D monsters done so I can get them up on the site. Now, do you guys have any interest in seeing this again next week? Would you like to see something a little bit different? You guys tell me, or I could color the ones we have done next week too is a possibility. Or like I said, I could do a digital, show you how I do touch-ups and stuff like that in the computer. What would be most interesting to you guys to see? You let me know. Think about it. Let's get this sweet, sweet dryad erased. Coloring, okay, we can do that. I'll make sure to get these guys all scanned in before next week then. Ooh, looks like there was a little bit of ink still on the or circle it up there. That's disappointing. But c'est la vie, folks. That's how the cookie crumbles, you know. Now, hopefully the skeleton's dry. This is going to be interesting to see what it looks like once we erase in the eye areas. See how that comes out. And then on this rusty old sword here, which I think needs just a couple more cross lines. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Oh, I need another eraser refill. Now I'm not going to do the gelatinous cube erasing lines because that's still too fresh, but I will show you real quick what I mean. Some lines like that I think would go a long way into making it look a little more metal and less organic. There we go. I like that. And then I want to do just a couple of hatch lines in here too. That is a little better. I like that. Good, 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 good. All right, guys. Pardon me. That turned out pretty well. Good. Thanks for joining me. I enjoyed doing this. I'm glad to get the double dip done because I got to get this work done in addition to some others, the other commissions that have come up. So it's good to spend some time doing these. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I sure had a good time. I always do. Hanging out on Thursday. I need to find out a name for this stream, like Drawing with Colin or something like that. So you guys can think about that. Pardon me. I'll show you that unicorn real quick that I was drawing for a commission. I think it turned out pretty good. It's done with markers and then it gets cleaned up digitally. So just a nice last little thing for you guys to look at before you leave. So like I said, I've been really double dipping on the unicorns, but that's okay because I like them. And this is for a little girl. This will be a Christmas. The client will give it as a Christmas gift. So no unicorn beard. Unicorns traditionally have beards, so it kind of bugs me that this one doesn't. But I get it. No little girl wants a bearded unicorn. So fun stuff. Thank you, Peggy. All right, guys. I got to run. I got to get something to eat, and I got to get to this meeting. So thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a great week, a great weekend. I know I'm going to have a blast. So that's it. Enjoy Star Wars, Kevin. Everybody else, have a good time, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.